think we're live now. Yep. I'm going to give it a few minutes if there's anyone in the room, just so that I can make sure everyone gets as we can are on. Hey, Juliet. It's nice to hear from a lot of you earlier today that have been logging in and doing your attendance signups. Thank you for that. I know that we had some issues with the whole switching over to a separate Google Classroom, so I'll take the blame for that. Sorry about that, but I'm glad. I think most people are finally connecting now. Juliet, if you could help me by spreading the word as much as possible to any other of your classmates that maybe still haven't logged on to 6 periods AP Classroom, that would be very helpful. But yeah, so I'll just go ahead and start then. This is going to stay up anyway, so if you were watching this video not live, feel free to ask me any questions, send me any questions through email or through Google Classroom. I just want to make sure that you guys are up to date on everything that's happening in regard to the AP test. Awesome. All right. I'm glad Alex told you. Shout out to Alex. Well, Juliet, looks like people, this is the first time that you've gotten to see my face in a while. So feel free to leave any questions. But let me just go ahead and start with a couple of things regarding Google Classroom that I'm sure you're probably already aware of. The attendance, make sure that you're signing in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So it's the same as if you were to see me on a regular 5th and 6th period schedule. Make sure to log in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. There's a question that I'm going to ask each day, and I just expect for you to answer it in complete sentences. And make sure to open the question. Don't just leave a comment, but actually open the question, and that's how I'll be checking attendance for those days. And you'll be counted present as long as you answer the question, pretty much. The second thing, and probably more importantly, is that I've gotten more updates on what the AP test is going to look like. They have not canceled the AP test. They just really heavily modified it. So if you guys remember, all throughout the year, I've been telling you that it's like a 55 to 60 multiple choice question test, including 3 essays that you have to write, right? You guys remember that. It was the rhetorical analysis essay is one, the synthesis essay, which is this last one that we've just started working on, and then the argument essay. So we spent all the first semester on the rhetorical analysis essay, and you'll be happy to know that the test has been changed to only be a rhetorical analysis essay. So that's all that you're going to have to do for the test. There will be no multiple choice. You won't have to write an argument essay, and you won't have to write a synthesis essay. The only thing you'll have to do is write a rhetorical analysis essay. So I hope that comes to as a pleasant surprise for most of you. That's the one that we spent most of our time working on in class. And I feel confident that you guys can do this, that you guys can get can not only pass the test, but really really do well on the test. So with that being said, it's a rhetorical analysis essay. You will have 45 minutes to write it. And that, since it's just going to be a rhetorical analysis essay, we're going to focus all of our efforts from here until the day of the test, which is going to be May 20th. I will say that again, and I will make sure to start including that in the communication through Google Classroom. The AP test is going to be on Wednesday, May 20th. And let me just make sure that I did that correctly. So Wednesday, yes, Wednesday, May 20th. And I'll post stuff on Google Classroom about like the actual times. And that way you have the date and the times at hand, so you know exactly when it is. It is going to be online. and you will be expected to type it out on a computer and then submit it digitally or virtually, however you want to call it. So, like I said, in the coming weeks, I'll be giving you guys more information, more specifics, more details on so that you are fully aware of everything that you have to do and that you go into it confident and you're not like, what are we doing or what's happening or there's a new Google Classroom. Um, so there's that. I see some more people are starting to join. So again, I'll reiterate or I'll mention this again for those of you who just joined us. If you have any questions about the AP Language and Composition test or about Google Classroom in general, I know there were a few people who were still logged into the old AP Classroom, but I have created two separate periods, a 5th period AP Classroom and a 6th period AP Classroom. So make sure that you are signed up to the right one. Let me just mention as well that I did want to talk about also what to expect as far as assignments go. So for those of you who are watching right now, just keep this in mind, and then if you can help me spread the word as well to anybody else. But basically, you should expect an assignment every week for me, and that could either be I really want us to continue to review rhetorical analysis essays. So don't be surprised if an assignment for 1 week is to write a rhetorical analysis essay. The assignment that has been posted for this week, it's actually due tomorrow at midnight, is basically it's just a passage, like a passage that you would get on the essay portion of the test, where I asked you to take some annotations. And I included a video on how to annotate in Google Docs if you're not familiar with how to do that. So that's there. And it's just I also included an attachment about the rhetorical elements, of the rhetorical situation, like the exigence, the author, the purpose, the message, all of that stuff, things that we reviewed and that we talked a lot about at the beginning of the year. But I also included a document where you can access that and kind of see, kind of refresh your memory and be able to take annotations. So that's the assignment that's due tomorrow on Friday the 10th. I'll also be announcing this on Google Classroom, but there's no school tomorrow. So you don't have to worry about signing in, but the assignment is due by Friday tomorrow, midnight. So please make sure to submit that. A second thing, so the first thing was that the assignments, expect an assignment every week of some sort. Please make sure you're logging in. I'll reiterate that attendance, you have to open the attendance question and just answer the question in a complete sentence and you will be marked as present for the day. I mentioned the changes to the AP tests that are going to be happening. Expect an assignment every week. Also, if you logged on and checked the assignment that's going to be due for this week, you'll notice that I included a link to YouTube live sessions that are happening for the AP tests that are actually produced and put on YouTube Live by College Board themselves. So they select teachers who actually teach AP to go on and give basically like I want to say it's 45, like a 40-minute to maybe an hour long session. I know they kind of been fluctuating a little bit. It's not an exact time, but for sure 40 to 45 minutes, something like that, of a lesson where they're actually doing what I just said. They're focusing all their efforts on the rhetorical analysis essay, and they're just reviewing. And they do a really good job of reviewing some very specific things. So it could be that I give you an assignment where all you have to do is log on. They always happen at 2 p.m. So if I'm not mistaken, they happen daily. I am only going to require for like on a Tuesday or a Thursday, just depending on what I decide for that week. But you're more than welcome to log on at 2 p.m. on YouTube Live. If you type in AP Language and Composition into the search bar, and then just look for it by the date. But it's every day at 2 p.m. So you might also see that I will assign for you to do to just log on, watch the video, and then fill out a Google form afterwards. So that you just to see what it is that you learned and how it is that you can apply it to the AP test. But that's pretty much it. I I was going to keep this video short because it's the first one. The next time that I do a YouTube live, I'll have some more content. I'm also very seriously considering just getting a Remind app or starting a Remind class to finish out the year, just so that I can have you guys send me in questions beforehand. That way, when I get on YouTube live, some of those things that maybe like you're really struggling with or that you really want me to go through, and then maybe even be able to model something for you here. And just again, refresh our minds and continue to review for the rhetorical analysis essay, because that's what you will be expected to do for your language and composition test. Any other questions though that are coming in? I know there's still a couple people on right now. Don't be shy, ask questions. If not, that was kind of all I had for you. I didn't expect this video to be more than 15 minutes. The next one might be a little longer, just depending on how many questions I get. But for those of you who were logged in, thank you for joining. Those of you who are still here, thanks for sticking through the whole thing. Continue to message me, email me if you have any questions, or just comment on any of the assignments if you're not understanding or if you'd like me to go more in depth. And then that way, the next time I have a YouTube session, I can really talk to you guys more in detail about everything. But I did want, since this was the first one, just to kind of establish communication with you guys, say hello, let you know that I hope you're doing well, and that I hope you've been adjusting to everything as best as can be expected. I know that myself and some of my other colleagues from Sunset, we're right there with you. We're in the struggle as well, and we're trying to communicate as best and as effectively as we can with you guys to finish the year off strong, given all of the unforeseen circumstances, right? So thank you again. I'll see you guys next week. Remember, Friday, there's no school, so you don't have to worry about logging in. And then Monday, there also isn't school either. It's an inclement weather day, so you won't have to worry about logging in to my class either. Juliet, if you're still there, thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments. Help me to continue to spread the word, to make sure everyone signs into the correct Google class so that everyone knows exactly what's happening. All right, guys. Well, with that, I think I'll log off. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next week on Google Classroom.